Groovy. Hi everyone. Welcome to the stream. It's been so long. There was a second after I pressed the go live button where I went, and now we're done. And now I finished that task and I can move on. But hello. It's been a couple weeks. There's a lot going on in my life, but I'm trying to keep trucking, moving through. Phoenix probably won't be on this stream for a while, if ever. But I will still be playing the games that we played. Sorry for all of the ums and like I said, I'm getting back into it. It has been a while and I have missed this, but having the energy with the mold and everything going on in my personal life just wasn't realistic. But I'm getting up there. I still haven't really found a place to live or stable income, but I have friends and family who are willing to support me, and that's all anyone can hope for when they're going through a hard time. Today, I will also be, when the game starts, turning away from you now just because of where I had to put the webcam for the time being. I've got pretty much everything set up so that I can properly game, including this webcam that I wanted to try out, because looking back at the quality of my camera, it wasn't great. And this one's fine, and I'll certainly get to better ones in the future. But for now, I've got a keyboard, I've got a couple monitors. My good friend TJ is looking through their stuff to look for their old gaming mouse, which, if I remember it had a few quirks, but it's a free mouse, so it's so weird to look over at me and I'm looking at a different place now. You can see a whole new angle of my home. It doesn't really give you much. You just see the door of the white cabinet. That's where I keep the cat food. But yeah, I've got the tower. I just need the mouse and a little pad for the keyboard and the mouse so they don't run away, and also so the mouse can work. I'm very excited to continue elevating this experience and this part of my life. With the things happening, there's also, I guess, a lot of mental room freed up now that was dedicated to trying to problem solve a lot of different things that weren't really meant to be problem solved. That net can now go to the logistics of this channel, so that's cool, I guess. Today, it's Thursday. I was going to try and come back to this on Monday, but I had a bunch of stuff to do. I work at Kamas, the anarchist bookshop, on Mondays now instead of Sundays, just because a lot of people were dropping out or having to change their schedule because of new jobs or school. And because my schedule is so free right now, I was able to fully rearrange my schedule to help out in that regard, and sort of short notice change my days from Sundays to Mondays. And as well, it opens up my Sundays again so that I can hang out with friends, because a lot of the time Sundays are the only times that they have available, and that's understandable. No one ever visited me though, and that's okay. Now I'm working at a time where no one can really visit me, so I can never feel bad about no one visiting again. Oh, I got my first Squishmallow today. It feels like this first bit is taking forever, but it's only been 5 minutes. I keep being like, oh, I'm so sorry, I have so much more to say, because it's been so long. But it's only been 5 minutes. And also, this is my stream. So if you're watching the VOD, you can just skip ahead to whenever you find the gameplay. We're going to get to that soon, I assure you. But first, God, look at that crisp quality. It would be so blurry if it were anything else. Check out this fucking tail. His name is Minerva. Hold on, what if I just... There we go. And I've been wanting a Squishmallow for a while, and I've just... There's a lot of things I see as only gift-worthy things. Like if I buy a Squishmallow, it's going to be for another person. If I buy these cute little odds and ends, it's for other people and it's not for me. This is something I have found out about myself a while ago. I was going through a market a couple years ago with my brother, and I was looking for gifts for people because it was close to Christmas. And he was like, cool, what'd you get? Like halfway through, and I took out everything and who it was going to be for, and he went, but what'd you get for yourself? And I laughed and I looked at him and I went, you don't go to markets to look for stuff for you. You go to markets for other people because that stuff's fun and cool. So it's only for gifts. And that's something I've been trying to get over. Every time I go to a market, I try to buy at least one thing for myself, and that's been pretty successful. And I figured with all of the sadness and rough times that I am going through, that I deserve to be able to have a gift that I wanted for myself for a long time. And I went to Toys R Us looking for a Shadow the Hedgehog Squishmallow, because I was like, yeah, okay, there's a couple places in town that give out, that sell Squishmallows, but I don't know what exactly I want, because a lot of the designs I'm not really a fan of. Not in that, like, oh, I don't like them, just in that, like, oh, it's cute, but it's not for me. And that's also something I struggled to convey in the past. And I don't know if it's that I struggled to convey it, or... Oh, the angle's so weird. Where... I think that's better. I think that's incredibly similar, but I think it's better. Oh, well... That's fine. That shaking was from the boys running back and forth on the chair behind the table that the webcam and my whole setup is on. And that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with, because this house is sinking. Every once in a while we step in a spot and it gives a little more give than it should, and we go up and we move on because there's nothing we can do and we're already on our way out anyways. And it's fine and it's cool and it's groovy and we're dealing. And we're gonna have a great time today. But back to what I was saying about the Squishmallows, I was looking online at what all the designs were, and then I came across a Sonic and a Shadow and a Knuckles. I'm assuming because of the most recent Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And I was like, well, I have to have a Shadow the Hedgehog. I've had exactly one Shadow the Hedgehog plushie in my life, and it got eaten by a dog or taken away for thrift while I was either depressed or not home. And then I got there, and there was no Shadow the Hedgehog. Typical. We all love him. But I didn't really want Knuckles, so I searched around, and they didn't really... Toys R Us didn't have all of their Squishmallows and their teddies in the same spot. They divided everything by franchise, and a lot of the Squishmallows weren't franchised. So some of them were up in the, like, ooh, last minute look-see bin, and some of them were upstairs, and I was looking at all of the upstairs ones, and I was like, I don't know, I guess I'll get, like, the alien or the beetle. The blue beetle's fun, and, like, maybe I could, like, sew some, embroider some moons and stars on it. And I saw this little guy, and I was like, is that a dragon? Is that a bird? And its name was Minerva, which is the name of a character I made in a game, a tabletop role-playing game called Wickedness that me and my friends played once. It's a very good game, Wickedness. It's one of my favorites. It's a 3-person TTRPG that uses tarot cards as like the RNG, like the dice basically, and you're given like prompts to deal with as a coven of witches, and then you pull tarots to make your characters too. And I rolled the blue one, the wise old soul that I named Minerva. And like 2 or 3 sessions in, I realized, oh, we aren't all seeing witches as like a sort of all-encompassing term for a magical a being that has a certain relationship with magic. We're all thinking human person who lives in cottage on outskirt of town. And I had to be like, hey guys, so I've been imagining my guy Minerva as this sort of like 7-foot tall bone monster. Is that kind of your guys' vibe? Or are you kind of going for normal people? And everyone went, no, we're just normal people. And so I proceeded to draw a family portrait of everyone and what I thought everyone looked like. And it was very fun doing that and very infuriating. Because because I've asked both of them for their input so that I could mesh both of our ideas together in my drawing. And one friend gave nothing. Truly, they were like, oh wow, I don't know. I didn't really think about that. I'll have to get back to you. And then didn't. I love you so much, Frankie, if you're watching this. And then the other friend gave an incredible amount of detail. Some of it I had to look up, and I went, that's fucking crazy. I'm so sorry, but some of that I'm not using because I have my own ideas as well. But I am very happy when people have like a solid idea of their characters. And if I'm commissioned, I will be faithful to whatever prompts I am given. Trust. But that was very fun. And then it turned out that I, as the DM, sort of like every time it was my turn, because it was like a DM-less thing, but there was a reader of every prompt, and that reader was sort of in charge of the next scene that comes from the prompt. So it's like the moniker of DM gets passed around, and every time it was my turn, I'd be like, okay, and here's some foreshadowing for like this bit and what could be happening here, and I'm just gonna quickly connect some of these things that you all put down and then did not touch again. And we ended up all being small portions of the same god that continued to find each other. And it was all big and complicated, mostly because I accidentally drew a card that killed us, and I had to quickly tie all of the ends together, and it didn't really fully make sense. But that's okay, because it wasn't all my work, and it was still beautiful, and it still means a lot to me. And so finding a little blue freak named Minerva, I think it was fate. I was hoping for someone a little bit bigger, but come on, look at him. Look at this guy. Okay, I've been talking for like 15 minutes. I should probably get into the game. Once again, there's a bunch of nasty stuff. I don't really know what's going on. My friend TJ and I did play through a little bit more of it because we got really hooked on this game. And so we played it one night while we were hanging out with our other friend Natalie, and got a few other okay. Yeah, we were just hanging out while Natalie was writing away, and we got through a little bit of the next chapter. So I'm very excited. Okay. As usual, if you want full content warning, please go to blacktabbygames.com. Black Tabby Games, I love you very much. If you ever watch this, please, I don't know how much I love you. I was gonna be like, sponsor me, but I feel like I'm very small, and I don't know how much. Oh, desktop audio so loud. There we go. I think that's okay. Flip. That's what our other thing was. But we are Bustly, and I don't remember any of our voices. And that's okay. Oh, and I don't really remember what happened last time either, because when TJ and I played this for fun, we were like, well, what happens if you just insist on going home to see Tabitha, because we're very worried about our cousin, and we just don't do this. And the answer, I'm not gonna tell you what the answer is. People like to not know what's going on and then see for themselves later. So I'm going to honor that. Oh, right. Sybil turns and closes the door behind her. Alrighty, I'm heading back home. My home, I mean. I don't know what that accent was. Hello, I've been talked to. And here we are. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. I should probably head back and check on Tabitha, thank you. I should probably head back and check on Tabitha. That's sweet of you. Are you sure you're okay to head up that mountain alone? Uh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. God, I fucking love Gretchen. She's the best. Well, if you stop, I won't stop you if you really want to go back. Here's my number. Call me when you get there, okay? And good luck. You and Stella exchange numbers. I'll see you tomorrow. Whoa. My cats are really going at it. There's a chance I might have to step out to break up a screaming match. And if I do, I'm sorry, but also it's for your own good. Yeah, we're in this together. Yeah, we are. Stay safe, buddy. You begin the long hike back up to the Scarlet Estate alone. Continue down the path. That phrase gives you, like, flashbacks from how much I've played Slay the Princess. Almost home. Continue down the path. You've made it. Your salvation in sight, you make a mad dash to the door. Try the door. As you reach for the doorknob, the door swings open. Where in the hell have you been? Do you know anyone named Wayne? Do you know anyone named Wayne? You feel a slight but palpable hesitation before Tabitha answers. I employ over 100 people. I'm sure I know a Wayne. I texted you back as soon as I had reception. Did you? I didn't notice. You hesitated before answering me about Wayne. It's fungus. What? Ah! Hi. Hi, buddy. Are you okay? Okay. Well, you're here, so you have to pay the cat tax. Those bills don't pay themselves. Check out this baby. Okay. Back in. It's late, Busley, and you never came home. I'm sorry that your random questions and accusations caught me off guard. Wait, you smell like nature, an old dog. You must have met Stella then. Ugh, that explains everything. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Can you tuck me in? Okay, good night. You're alone in the estate. The sound of the wind whistling through the house gives you an uneasy feeling in your gut. It's probably best to turn in and try and leave the night behind you. As you settle into your room, you remember that Stella asked you to call her once you got back. Of course, call her. You pull out your phone and call. Hey, how are you? She sounds a little different, like she's been crying. Did you make it back all right? I died. Actually, I died on my way home. This is my ghost. Haha, you're very funny. Wait, are you serious? You have to tell me if that's a joke. Oh, that's a joke? It's been a weird night, okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I made it back. I'm not a ghost, nor am I dead. Though I am dead tired. Think I'm turning in. Phew, you had me going for a second there. Get some rest, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. From the relative safety of this uncomfortable bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe and you're warm. Eventually, the sun will rise and chase away the monsters and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a boring week in the mountains with your sour-faced cousin. Please do not go up there. Thank you so much. I'm going to send I applied for the Indigenous mentorship program for the Fringe for my city. It's like for plays, and I'm going to send a couple that I wanted to do, and I couldn't really decide between which one, to a couple of my friends and see what they're feeling, because I'm definitely going to, whichever one I decide to do, go back in there, edit it, rearrange its guts, to be able... Is my cat crying again? Hello? Okay. And make it a bit more appropriate for French. But, sorry, that was just a thought I had that I needed to voice to myself so that I could remember to do it. Eventually the sun will rise and chase away the monsters and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and, oh, I already read this. It's a nice thought, but deep down you can't help but worry that things will only get worse. Okay. Oh, right, and this gorgeous scene. I love Happy Howard. What's up, buddy? I'm trying to be as still and quiet as possible. Oh, she's so sad. She's just like me for real. Oh, whose house is that? Llamas. Oh, I need to sneeze so bad. Absolutely gorgeous work. Ooh. Is that our house? Yeah. Fungus. Hi, buddy. This is the end of episode 1. Episode 2 awaits. Enemy Darkness Dementia Ravenway! Sorry. That's hilarious! Oh my god. If you'd like to continue with this world state in episode 2, please save now. I will. Thank you so much. Continue. Would you like to see a recap? No, actually, I think I'm okay. You open your eyes. The sun has risen. The birds are singing. You are still alive, and for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the room to the window and to the woods beyond. You wonder if the monsters are still lurking there, right now, just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave this crumbling estate. It's getting warm, and I turned up the heat a little bit because when I'm like sitting still gaming, I just get so cold. But then like it gets so warm in the house so fast. Isn't that right, buddy? A familiar unease settles into your gut, tangling into a knot of anxiety, into a knot of anxiety wriggling as the events of last night play out in your head. You can't help but remember Duke, slumped against a tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing. You're not sure you'll ever feel okay again after what you've seen, but you can't stay in bed forever. Hunger pulls you from the clammy depths of the mattress. Let's go back into the closet. Great. The doll didn't move during the night. Maybe it isn't haunted after all. Though after everything you went through yesterday, that's hardly a consolation. But I wanted... Okay. Well, let's check in on the opossum. You open the drawer to check in on the little opossum you met yesterday. Oh good, he's still here. That's nice. Leave him in peace. You decide to leave the little man's in peace. Look out the window. You creep towards the window. Oh! 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 Okay, so we did play through this part. We did play through this part. And I was just being like, "Oh, such a cute little garden." Just reading the text, and then TJ went, "Huh!" And I went, "Huh? What's going on?" And they went, the guy from last night, Wayne's here." And I went, "Oh. Okay." And I'm seeing him now, and I like him a whole lot less than I liked him last night. That's for squirtin'. You creep towards the window, careful not to be seen by whatever might be lurking in the garden. It's fine. For a second you saw you Okay. For a second, you thought you saw movement. It could have been an animal. It could have been something else. Whatever it was, it's gone now. Okie dokie. Maybe you'll head out there and investigate after you've finished waking up. Text Stella. It's probably a good idea to check in with your new friend. You can't imagine she's holding up very well. It might take her a minute to get back to you. In the meantime, time to start your day. You're back in the kitchen. Frou Frou eyes you from her favorite spot on the counter. Excuse me, ma'am, but may I pet your beautiful fur? Part of you hopes that flattery might win her over, as silly as that may seem. You are, after all, talking to a cat. Frou Frou merely flicks her tail faster. It doesn't look promising. Hi! Did you know the police called me this morning? You've only been here 1 day, and you've already had a run-in with the cops. The cops don't matter. Something is coming for this town, and I need people to start listening to me. Sir, I'm also, as I said, I'm still looking for work, and thus will be consistently checking my phone every time it beeps in case it's someone willing to give me work. Because it's not like I haven't been looking. I'm applying every single day, but you know recessions. Did the cops say anything about Duke? We were chased through the woods by monsters and you're worried about cops. There's monsters in the woods. I had a really rough night. What can I say? Trouble follows me everywhere I go. Duke's blood is on my hand. Can I hang out with you today? Did the cops say anything about Duke? Did they find the body? Body? They didn't say anything about a body, but apparently he never went home last night. And they had quite a few questions about you, Busley. And before you ask, don't worry, I told them that you're an upstanding citizen. Thanks for having my back. Sure. What else is family for? There are monsters in the woods. We need to leave. I saw them with my own 2 eyes. Is that what Stella's got you on about? That girl spent years chasing her own shadow thinking it's Bigfoot. This is just a sleepy mountain town where nothing ever happens. I'm not about to flee in terror just because Stella thinks she saw some ghoul. I think I'm going to put this somewhere I can access this easier. What is up with you and Stella? We just have a history. That's all. She's definitely not my ex. I keep dripping water on myself. I swear I'm better with proprioception than this. I swear. I don't need to explain myself to you. Can I hang out with you today? At the mines? No. I've got to get to work, but just stay out of trouble today, all right? I'll try and be back by sunset, and I expect you to be here. So she definitely knows something about the creatures and something about Wayne. I want to hear complaints. Just do what I ask and we won't have any more problems. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Sunset! Your cousin huffily exits the kitchen. Her footsteps fade down the hall, ending in the characteristic creak then slam of the front door as it opens and closes behind her. Once again, you are the only human in the estate. A text from Stella. Hey, Busley. Thanks for checking in. Hope you're all right, all things considered. I'm doing okay. Not great, but hanging in there. Up most of the night on cryptid forums, but no good answers yet. I'm at the library if you want to join. I have scones. Scones say no more. And that's that. Time to start your day. If I'm getting scones... Do I? I'm going to, because here's the thing. I've played through this part, and I know it's fine. And I'm not usually the type to be like, oh, well, I've played through this, and I know what happens, so we're just going to do it. I like to, when I'm on stream, have as authentic an experience as possible, which is why when I play Slay the Princess, despite how often I've played it, I do go in genuinely following my whims instead of what I usually do, which is follow a guide to find the new princesses that I think would be cool. But yeah. We're going to investigate the garden. As your eyes wander to the garden door, you shudder, remembering the brief glimpse of something you saw from your upstairs window. It was probably just a raccoon, but the uncertainty of what you saw gnaws at you and compels you to investigate, if only to prove that it was nothing. At the very least, you don't see anything now. Because if we... If we die, we can at least come back. You wander farther into the garden, trying to pinpoint the spot that had been where that thing had been lurking, if indeed there had been a thing to begin with. Take it all in. The garden is peaceful but undeniably eerie. Here, more than anywhere else, you're surrounded by the ghosts of what this place used to be. A greenhouse sits in the midst of the overwhelming greenery, unreachable from years of neglect, its glass clouded and cracked. Statues reach out from within seas of weeds as if begging to be rescued. And most strikingly, behind a pair of rusted metal gates at the very peak of the mountain sits a graveyard. You can just make out a few of the headstones, the scarlet name carved deep and proud into their faces. You notice what a good view someone would have of your window if they stood where you're standing right now. I wonder how you'd get into, like, voicing audiobooks. I think that would be a really cool and fun gig for me. I would definitely be smoking a whole lot less. Probably be doing edibles more often. I also want to try and go back to I made a podcast once, a narrative podcast of some characters that I've had for a while that I think now that I am older and wiser, I will be able to tackle on my own. And I think that'd be very, very cool. You can find episode 1 of the Riptide podcast out on Spotify. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but I think it'd be very cool. I think it'd be very fun. I think I'd have a great time, especially voicing horror, you know. I pressed check the ground for clues. You crouch down, pushing aside the greenery to examine the soft earth. A boot print. A big boot print. And what looks like some kind of viscera. Your thoughts turn to the specter from the night before. You snap a quick photo just in case it comes in handy later. You send the photo to Stella. Look what I found in the garden across from my window. No way that's Tabitha-sized. You head back inside. Time to figure out what to do with the rest of your day. Let's head to town, grab a scone. The walk back to town is much less pleasant today than it was yesterday when you didn't yet know that the woods were full of monsters and strange men who know your name. You stare anxiously into the darkness between the trees, searching for any sign of movement, but the woods are still, at least for now. What's up, baby? You have food. I know you have food. Hold on. I'm actually going to do something really quick. I noticed I'm like also watching streamers more often, so I'm noticing things that I might need to be doing. And it's cool and it's groovy and we're here. And hey, now that I have more mental capacity, maybe I can start editing the VODs I put out on the channel, add some subtitles, instead of eventually hoping I can turn the auto-generated ones on. You know, improve the experience for everyone. Back in, the autumn-tinged mountains, sprawling for miles in every direction, now feel less like beautiful scenery and more like the walls of a cage. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Geez, that's creepy. All the more reason to come to the library. Look who I found at the library. Said she was up all night thinking about the video. Added to the group text. I'm only here 'cause it's quieter than this door. Or was, lol. And I'm trying to figure out what animal that could be. I don't buy into this harbinger of doom stuff. We know what animals they are. They're ditchlings, and they are harbingers of doom. Sounds like they're having fun. You send a heart emoji. You send a heart emoji and put your phone away. Almost back to town. You make it to town in one piece. No creature jumps out at you. No scary men block your path. The sight of other people is comforting, helping you forget the things you witnessed as if they happened to someone else. Oh, hey, Busley. Oh, that was the wrong one. We were just talking about you. I stopped by Sybil's to pick up her new tea blend and, well... You're the biggest thing to come to town since the coal mines. Folks have been absolutely buzzing about you. You went out with Stella last night, right? Did something happen out there? She barely even waved when she walked by. I'll be honest. Stella and I went to the woods to try and find a skunk ape, but we ran into something way worse. Actual monsters. Sybil said that they're called ditchlings, but whatever they are, they killed Duke and have been mutilating the local wildlife. Whoa. Slow down. Duke is dead? It's true, I'm afraid. That's awful. Has anyone told Bo? Yes, he's taking it as well as you can imagine. I'll be going in to check on him today, the poor lad. I can't believe you had to see that, Busley. Tell you what, I'm on break for the next half hour. How about you swing by the diner? Winnie can fix you some of Sybil's new blends to try and calm your nerves. It's chaga and lemon balm. What was that? It's always helped me on the bad days. And if you need to talk about what happened, I'm all ears. Anyway, it's up to you. See you around, Busley. See ya, Sybil. Take care now, Avery. I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you were holding up. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help. What aren't you telling us? You're awful relaxed given everything you told us last night. Don't mistake my calm demeanor for complacency. We all have our parts to play in this. I've shared what I know about the ditchlings, and I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of things. I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. I forget how small this shirt is. I usually use it as an undershirt, so I don't usually have it out. Stay safe, Busley, and God bless. You probably have a bit of time before you need to be at the library. Let's go to the diner. Because this is not a horror game, it's a dating sim. You head towards the diner. The diner is a little quiet today, but the air is still heavy with the tantalizing smell of breakfast. Warn the patrons of the danger. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you can exchange words, Winnie sidles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. Heard you might need this. The answer to 29 down is oink, by the way. What? But the clue is pen sound. How is that a sound a pen make? Wait. Pen like pig pen? Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to guess that? I don't know why you even bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you. It's just something to do to fill the time. But maybe I should switch to Sudoku. Winnie leaves Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. So, thanks for telling me about last night. If you want to really get into the grisly details, you can tell me. I won't judge. You take a gentle sip of your tea. Sybil was right. You can already feel it begin to ease some of the strain and tension from last night's events. Whoa, not a lot of folks to take to chaga so quickly. It's a fungus that grows on birch trees around here. It's supposed to be super healthy, but it definitely makes for a challenging drink. Color me impressed. I'll tell him. You spill the beans, glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've witnessed. Wow, that's some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seems distant. Monsters in the woods. I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happening around these parts. I can't say I like the thought of it. Now that I think about it, when the cops came in for their morning coffee, they mentioned about going in the woods to look for someone or something. It must have been Duke. They seemed so disconnected from it. I figured it couldn't be very serious, but wow. I don't get it. They saw Stella's footage. They saw what happened out there, but it feels like words are... They saw what happened out there, but it feels like so far all they've done is hound me. Hey, I don't know if it'll help your anxiety, but even if they think you did something, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't bother going after you. These cops come in here every day, and I feel like I know them pretty well by now. And let me tell you, they have no follow-through. I can't tell you the number of complaints they've just, dropped after a day or two. And I'll vouch for you if they ever try anything. Did someone say pegged? We're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything. Definitely. Oh man, it looks like my shift is starting. Hopefully the Trogo's had its chance to start working its magic. The diner's where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what's going on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Avery slips out of the booth, giving a friendly half wave before disappearing into the back. You leave the diner, ready to continue your day. Let's just head to the library. I don't know why we'd head to the general store. You enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Oh, hey, you made it! You head over to Stella and Kanika's table and settle in. You made it! Glad you could join us. Morning, Busley. You look tired. Yeah, it was pretty hard falling asleep last night, all things considered. God, I love Gretchen! I can't say I gotta wink I can't say I gotta wink myself. Yeah, same. Anyway, I guess we should get started. Oh! Before I forget, we've gotta talk about that photos you sent me this morning. Kanika, check this out. Busley found it in Tabby's garden this morning, right in line of sight of their room. What in the world is that liquid around it? It looks like pus. I don't know if there's a connection to what happened in the woods. Those boots are too big to be Tabitha's. Definitely. Do you think it could be that creep we saw at the general store last night? He knew your name and those boot prints match up with the mining getup. Whoa, apparently I missed a lot last night, huh? You're not talking about Wayne, are you? That guy keeps coming to my mom's tea room. I think there's something really wrong with him. Yeah, we are. I wonder if there's any connection between that guy and what happened in the woods last night. Like what? I mean, I don't have anything specific, but we do have the whole prophecy of impending doom angle to explore, and this photo is weird. I can't stop thinking about those splatters on the ground. If whoever left those prints is sick, maybe it's from the creatures you encountered. Hi. Sorry, I'm normal. We met this man last time. Me and TJ in our private playthrough. I'm very normal. I need to drink some water. I'm suddenly pretty thirsty. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. What's up, baby girl? Hey, I'm Busley, Tabitha's cousin. I'm in town for the funeral. Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a little kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, Chief Librarian and only librarian. Oscar's amazing. He practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind. But speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she wasn't getting in trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs out with. They're good kids at heart, but I'm sure they're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the old Maxwell place? It's this great old abandoned spot. We used to hang out there when we were teens. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. Kids are smarter than you think. She can take care of herself. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as usual around here. Is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in the woods. That's actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of creatures called ditchlings? They're a type of cryptid that shows up in places on the brink of disaster. They're kind of like the Pillsbury, if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings. Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were to say trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try and figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. God, you're so smart, Oscar. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books. Behave while I'm gone, Gretchen. Oh, you don't have to worry about her, Stella. You're such a good dog, aren't you, Gretchen? Here, have a biscuit, old gal. Gretchen inhales the soft biscuit, drool leaking from her toothless mouth as she swallows it whole. I'm pretty sure Stella is barking up the wrong tree. Oscar, I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling this town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in those woods. If I were you, I would keep my loved ones close in the coming days. I'm at least gonna say this. Whatever's out there in the woods has been brutalizing the local wildlife. I don't think it's safe. I'm gonna try and call Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting in trouble, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Thanks, Kanika. And Busley, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, will you let her know her dad's worried about her? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him. Just grabbed a whole bunch. I skip past it, but it's okay. Stella sits a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. All right. This is going to be so much faster with the two of you here helping out. Got our snacks, got our source document. Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by a short stint serving as captain in the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest sons to the bloodiest of the wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet Estate that was until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son, Theodore, his brother, Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustling of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this was how your family made its fortune. Yikes. May I be the first to say? Yikes. Confederates? Non-union? The hell? Let's learn more about our family, I guess. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the Army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness, for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlet. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would soon become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin built by Silas's own 2 hands, occupied by his family of 10. Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. You're finished with this one. Man, our family really sucks. Hey, buddy. I almost forgot you were back there, and then I put my head back. Hold on, I gotta do a little stretch. Hey, little man. You're my sweet baby. Wow. And then let's look through the folk monsters. I need another sip. This is a lot of reading. A few entries catch your eye. Wampus cat. Often linked to Cherokee legend. Ew. Not ew, but like... Hold on. I'm going to... American folklore. Indigenous. Because I know it's like a real... It always just skeeves me whenever people are like, it's based on a Native American legend. Because often it's not. Often it's based off of something some indigenous man said to get you off their back. I have to sneeze again. So hard. Woo! Bless me. I don't understand when people say excuse me. I'm sure I've said this before, but I still don't understand it. Some cite the Wampus cat as originating with the story of a woman who sought vengeance against a monstrous cat demon for driving her husband mad. She hunted it down and, by wearing a bobcat mask, tricked it into using its own vile magic on itself, freeing the people of their region from its evil. Others say the creature comes from the story of a woman who wore the pelt of a wildcat to witness forbidden hunting rites. The hunters of her village gathered to perform the rites, and she watched in secret from underneath the cat's pelt, but was soon discovered. For her indiscretion, she was fused with the pelt and transformed into a creature that was neither human nor cat, forced to wander the wilderness alone, feared by all. Her calls are those of great sadness and served as a warning to anyone who dare go against tradition. So if there's not a bobcat, if there's not cougars, there could be wampus, is what I'm hearing. Slowly pushing my cat off the couch. I'm gonna miss this setup where you could see a little baby behind me. Squid isn't really the type to sit on, like, the back of the chair that I have right now. I might put a pillow there to encourage, like a blanket and some pillows, to encourage him to like come and sit behind me. Sorry, buddy. But I don't think that's gonna happen often. Tommyknockers. Oh. Tommyknockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking served as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creature takes stolen hammers to the supports of the mine and collapse them on whoever's unfortunate enough to still be inside. Scary. They are traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners, forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. Okay. There was a hunter who lived in a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, all alone with his hunting dog. One night, after a particularly bad week of hunting, both their stomachs empty, the hunter spied something out of the corner of his eye. Some small creature had gotten into the cabin through a hole, and before he could even figure out what it was, he'd drawn his gun and fired at the thing, his hunger guiding his actions. But it was quick and ran back through its hidey hole and out of sight, leaving only its long black tail shot off by the hunter's rifle. "Guess this'll have to do," he said to his dog, and threw the tail in a pot to cook a soup. He and his dog ate well that night, the tail filling them both up. The hunter crawled into bed, satisfied, and his dog curled up at his feet. He woke up to the sound of long nails scrabbling across wood. His dog was nowhere in sight, only a rumpled spot on the covers where he'd been, and in the gloom he saw two big yellow eyes staring right at him. "I want my Talipo." Oh. "I want my Talipo," a high, hoarse voice croaked from the darkness. "Go away," he screamed at the thing. But it stepped closer to him, still shrouded in darkness, the sound of long claws dragging across hardwood accompanying its movements. "I want my Talipo," the creature growled again. "I'll get my dog after you," the hunter squeaked, his voice catching in his throat with fear. But there was no dog to be seen. "I want my Talipo!" Before the hunter could so much as scream, the creature leapt from the darkness, long claws stretched out towards the hunter. No one is sure what the creature did to him that night, but the next morning, all that remained of the hunter, his dog, and his cabin was a chimney, standing alone in the woods. Okay. You close the book and put it back. I think I'm all done. Let's check in. All right, if we're gonna see what Kanika's mom, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? A baby! Before you can respond, a handsome black cat leaps on the table. Stella quickly slams her book shut. Aw, hey, Pixel. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Haha, don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Pixel immediately goes to town on Stella's treats. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. You decide to leave Pixel be. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Alright, I better get back to shelving. Let me know if y'all need anything. Have you had any luck with Rosalina? Haha, not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it'd happen overnight. I'll probably head out once you're all done and check in on her usual haunts. So, Appalachian folk monsters. Wampus cat sounds kind of like they could be mountain lions. Voice like a woman crying out, somewhere between person-sized and cat-sized. Definitely, they are 100% mountain lions. Kanika, you know there's no mountain lions up here. I thought you were supposed to be a skeptic. Oh, that's not what I meant, but that's fine. But the myths are old, right? Mountain lions didn't go extinct in the Appalachians that long ago. Those legends just haven't died off yet. Almost every cryptid can be tracked down to either a hoax or someone getting confused about a perfectly normal animal. Sometimes both. Bigfoot, for instance, started as a prank. Then folks saw bears walking around on their hind legs and got freaked out, and now, here we are. You'll eat those words when I get the first clear footage of a Bigfoot. If you manage that, I will print out a piece of paper that says Bigfoot isn't real and literally eat it, I promise. I'm holding you to it. Do you think ditchlings are Tommyknockers? What with the whole warning thing? What the what? But Tommyknockers live in mines. It's like their whole thing. I'm gonna write it down though. Tommyknockers are literally just the sound that happens when a bunch of rocks and wood are about to collapse. Are they? Or are they the sound of a mysterious creature pounding on the rocks and support beams with hammers to cause a collapse? There's simply no way to know. My mom used to tell me that Tally Po story back when I was little. I can't believe I forgot that one. It scared me so bad I'd need soup for years. I thought a monster might try to dig it out of my stomach if I did. I love that one. There's this old chimney in the woods that I used to think was the chimney from Talipo, the one that was left after the thing did what it did. Now I know that's just because chimneys don't burn down and wooden houses do. That doesn't mean it's not the chimney from Talipo. I've camped out there a couple times and seen some pretty spooky stuff. Yeah, I watched that video. You saw raccoons. You're going to get rabies one of these days chasing after wildlife like that. What can I say? I like to live on the edge. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. There we go. I nailed it. I would like to help look for Rosalina. If there's a missing kid in town, there's probably way more important than whatever else we'll be doing. Just to clarify, I don't think she's missing. She's just out with her friends and ignoring her poor old man. Not that I don't appreciate your concern. I don't even know where we'd look aside from the old Maxwell place. What do teens even like to do these days? You don't have to worry about checking up on her there. I'm going there myself once I finish shelving. Just let me know if you run into her while you're out. Maybe we should go to the mines. There was the collapse a while back and a lot of people died. Maybe the ditchlings are here to warn us something like that'll happen again. And hey, maybe we'll look out and run into Rosalina while we're looking around. Okay, good. And hopefully we can find out what happened to Wayne while we're at it. Alright, let's try. Alright, but if we're gonna do this, let's do our best to stay under the radar. I'm already in enough hot water with Tabitha as is. That sounds like a good idea. We'll be super sneaky, I promise. I can even keep lookout. Look at us going out on a caper together. I missed this. I missed it too. I mean, sure, it's not under the best circumstances, but I've been so wrapped up in running the store, I didn't realize how much I missed being able to hang out with you. Though there is something missing. Reese. Reese. I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been since we've seen each other. Have you seen him lately? Nope. I've been trying to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. I didn't realize it was getting so bad. Poor guy. After we're done here in the library, I think I'm gonna call it quits. I've gotta get ready to head over to a friend's house. And have another thing or two to do before that, so. Just so everyone's aware, things are sadly going to be ending soon. He seemed excited to meet Busley. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Hell yeah, let's do this. Alright, let's roll out. See ya, Oscar. We'll let you know if we run into Rosalina. Thanks, guys. I'll keep you all posted. I didn't realize it would be that fast. Okay. I'll do a little save. Go to the main menu. And there we go. Awesome. Well, it was very good to see everyone. Well, very good to talk at everyone. It's going to be an interesting little bit because while I want to be able to continue streaming at a consistent rate, there is the fact that I don't really have anywhere to live in 2 weeks' time. So I will keep you posted on how everything's going on my end as it happens and as we hang. But other than that, it is always an honor to be someone's background noise or to be even someone's favorite gamer, if that ever happens. As an avid stream watcher and current streamer, my only ever goal is to be something people like to put on at all. And so the idea of being someone's favorite gamer, someone's favorite streamer is a little out there for me, but maybe once I start playing a wider variety of games than visual novels. But for now, it was very wonderful to hang out, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.